Hello everyone, welcome to our second lecture for week 11 in our listening and speaking course. Let's start the lecture. Okay, in this part of the course we're going to learn about some types of spoken language, and these include small talks, conversations, interviews, discussions, presentations, and debates. Okay, so let's start with small talks. So, what is a small talk? Well, a small talk is a casual form of conversation that breaks the ice or fills an awkward silence between people. So, it's a casual form of conversation, very brief, very simple, and also short. What's the function of small talks? How is a small talk useful? It breaks the ice or fills an awkward silence between people. Okay, and it's normal and necessary in most English-speaking countries. People in these countries make small talks in some situations, and later we're going to see what are some kinds of these situations. Okay, طيب, if you have a look at this note, even though you may feel shy using your second language, imagine you're living or studying somewhere else in an English-speaking country. It's normal to feel shy to use your second language, but sometimes it's rude to say nothing. So it's okay to feel shy and use your second language, English, to make a small talk instead of just being silent and seeming to be rude. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Now, there are certain times when small talks are appropriate. I mean, you can't do small talks anytime you want. And also there are certain or some topics that people often discuss during these moments. So there are some specific times and some specific topics. So what are these topics, or what do people make small talk about? Okay, so we say that there are certain safe topics that people usually make small talk about. We said that there are some certain topics that people discuss in small talks, and these topics are described as safe. It's safe to discuss them with people you don't know. For example, one of these topics is the weather, and it's one of the most popular small talk topics that people use, or people who don't know each other use to break the ice or just make a small or a little chat between them. Okay, so the weather is the number one thing that people who don't know each other will discuss. Also, the weather is also discussed by people who know each other. So sometimes family and friends discuss weather topics when they meet or start a conversation. So they meet up, they start their conversation talking about weather, and then they go on talking about other issues. And I think we notice this during our everyday life. We talk about the weather, whether it's hot or cold or whatever. Tamam, so it's a safe topic anyone can discuss, and you can discuss it with people you know and people you don't know. Okay, another topic to discuss is current events or news about current events. So this topic is generally safe to discuss with people who you know or don't know. And as long as you're not discussing a controversial issue, then it's usually safe to discuss the news, okay? Also, sports news is a very common topic. It's very popular, especially if a local team or player is playing in a tournament or championship or doing extremely well or badly. Also, entertainment news, such as a celebrity who's in town or any other good topic about entertainment. Also, you can discuss shared things. So if you and the other speaker have something in common, then you may be able to discuss this, or this topic would be acceptable to talk about. Okay, because you two have something to talk about or have something in common. Okay. Now, there are also, we've discussed some topics that are acceptable in small talks, but here we'll see some topics that are not considered acceptable when making small talk. Okay? Not appropriate or inappropriate topic in small talks. For example, discussing personal information such as salaries, or recent divorce. So it's not good to make small talk about these topics with people you don't know. Also, in some cultures, it's not polite to discuss topics like age, for example, isn't we've said salaries or how much you earn. Personal matters like divorce or any other thing. These topics are not usually acceptable to talk about in small talks. Okay. Okay, what else? Compliments on clothing or hair are acceptable, but you also should never say something with a good or bad about a person's body. Okay, so just compliments about clothing or hair. Also, negative or bad comments about other people not involved in the conversation or who are not there with you are not acceptable, because when you're making small talk with someone that you don't know, you can't be sure about who their friends are. So it's not good to talk about someone else not involved in the conversation. Okay, mainly because you don't know who their friends are, and also because this is not a good behavior. Okay, to talk negatively about someone behind their back. Okay. Also, you should never discuss your private matters or issues with someone you don't know, because if you don't know this person, you can't trust them with your secrets or personal information. So it's also not appropriate or not good to talk about your own personal matters or problems with someone you don't know, because you can't trust someone that you don't know with your secrets or personal information. Also, it's not appropriate or safe to discuss topics that the society consider controversial, like religion or politics, with someone you don't know. So these are sensitive topics, and it's unsafe to discuss them with someone you've never met before. Okay, it's also not appropriate to keep on talking about something or an issue that the other person seems not to be interested in, okay, or not comfortable talking about. So when you feel the other speaker is not comfortable discussing a certain topic, it's not then it's not appropriate for you to continue talking about this topic. Okay, we've discussed the topics that people discuss in small talks, and now we're going to discuss the reasons why people make small talk. So why do people make small talk? Well, the first and most important reason is to break an uncomfortable silence, or as we've just said, to break the ice or fill an awkward silence. Tamam? Also to fill time. That is why it's common to make a small talk when you're waiting for something. In a queue, for example, you can make a small talk or brief chat with the person in front of you or behind you, just to fill or pass the time. Also, people make small talk in order to be polite. If you remember, I've just mentioned that sometimes it's rude. For example, when you're at a party or when you meet someone for the first time, some people can see it rude if you don't say anything or if you just stay silent. So even if you don't feel like chatting, or as we've just said, even if you're shy using your second language, just try to make a small talk, because otherwise it's يعني most people will believe or will see this as a rude thing to do if you just sit there and say nothing. Okay. Also, when someone introduces you to someone else that you've met for the first time, so you don't know anything about this person, so in order to show that you're polite and you're interested in getting to know about them, you can start a conversation with a small talk. Okay, just to seem polite and to express your interest in getting to know them, you can start small talk and ask a few questions. Okay. Okay, now in order to make small talks, let's now have a look at some conversation starters or questions that you can use to start a conversation in different topics. Okay, let's start with talking about the weather and some of the questions that you might or can ask to start a small talk. Number one, beautiful day, isn't it? So you can start a conversation about the weather just by saying this, beautiful day, isn't it? Or you can say, can you believe all of this rain we've been having? Can you believe all of this rain we've been having? Also, it looks like it's going to snow. It looks like it's going to snow. For example, when it's very cold that you expect some snow to fall soon, you can say something like this. Or you can say, we couldn't ask for a nicer day, could we? When the weather is pleasant or nice, we couldn't ask for a nicer day, could we? Or, how about this weather? How about this weather? يعني, what do you think about this weather? Or, nice or lovely weather today, isn't it? Nice or lovely weather today, isn't it? Lousy weather, isn't it? Lousy means awful or يعني bad, not good. Also, you can say, what a storm we had last night. What a storm we had last night. Now, talking about current events, you can start your conversation by, did you catch the news today? Did you catch the news today? يعني, did you listen to the news today? Oh, did you hear about the fire on 4th Street? Did you hear about the fire on whatever the place is? Okay? And what do you think about this strike? What do you think about this strike? And you can say, I read in the paper today that. Paper here means newspaper. Okay? I read in the paper today that. Okay, now at the office or at work, when, for example, you meet a new colleague or you have to talk with someone you've never talked to before, you can start a small talk by, for example, looking forward to the weekend. Looking forward to the weekend, it means, are you excited about the weekend? Okay, or have you worked here long? Have you worked here long? Imagine you're the new colleague at the company and you wanted to start a small talk with someone who has been there before you. So you can say, have you worked here long? Or, I can't believe how busy or quiet we are today. Can you? I can't believe how busy or quiet we are today. Can you? This is just to make a comment on the general atmosphere at the office. You can also say, has it been a long week? Has it been a long week? You can start a conversation with this question at the end of the week. And you can also say, what do you think of the new computers? What do you think of the new computers? Okay. This is obviously when the company or the office brings some new stuff or equipment to the office, you can discuss them. Okay. Okay, at a social event, for example, a party, a wedding, or anything like this, you can start a conversation with someone by, for example, so how do you know Justin, or whatever the name of the person is? How do you know Sarah? How do you know Muhammad? Whatever. Okay, or have you tried that? Have you tried that? If, for example, there is some food in the party, مثلا, have you tried the strawberry juice? Have you tried the cake? Okay, are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you having a good time? Or pretty nice place, huh? Pretty nice place, huh? Okay. بعدين, I love your dress. Can I ask where you got it? I love your dress. Can I ask where you got it, or where did you buy it from? Okay. Now, when you're out for a walk, for example, at a park or in the street, you can say something like this to start a conversation. How old is your baby? How old is your baby? Or, what's your puppy's name? Puppy means pet. What's your puppy's name? Or, the tulips are sure beautiful at this time of year, aren't they? The tulips are sure beautiful at this time of year, aren't you? So you can use a variety of questions depending on the situation. Instead of the tulips, you can mention another kind of flowers or roses depending on what's there. Okay. Or, how do you like the new park? How do you like the new park? It means, what do you think of the new park? Okay. And you can say, nice day to be outside, isn't it? Nice day to be outside, isn't it? Now, when you're waiting somewhere, for example, at a clinic or at the dentist's, in a queue, for example, you can say something like this. I didn't think it would be so busy today. I didn't think it would be so busy today. Or, it looks like we're going to be here for a while, huh? It looks like we're going to be here for a while. Like, it looks like it's going to take very long. Okay? Also, you can say, I'll have to remember not to come here on Mondays. I'll have to remember not to come here on Mondays. This is because Mondays in lots of European countries is the beginning of the week, so it can be very busy. Monday every week is a very busy day. So for our context, we can say, I'll have to remember not to come here on Saturdays or Sundays, whatever the beginning of the week is. Okay, you can also use, how long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting? Okay. Okay, in this part I include this YouTube video link about this topic, about small talk. And as you can see, the title is How to Make Great Small Talk. So this is a part of an English conversation practice. Please make sure to watch the video. It's very interesting and helpful. The lady who's talking uses a nice British accent. Please watch it and enjoy watching it. You'll access this link online on your Moodle, so you'll find it in a separate Word file. Okay, good luck in watching this video, and this is the end of our lecture. I hope everything is clear, and see you in our next Zoom class. Thank you and have a nice day.